size that you make these, you can make these way ahead of time. You could freeze them. That's what I usually do. And if I want to use them for lunch, I'll try to get as many patties as I can, and I'll have smaller ones, and I'll serve them with a side of like a tomato onion salsa that I make from scratch, just whatever is fresh, whatever fresh vegetables that you might have on hand. You could also serve it with a side of carrots, just whatever kind of vegetable, a side salad. What I'm going to do is, this is going to be a Mediterranean burger. It's a turkey burger, but I'm going to use, sometimes I use ground chicken. I try to look for organic if I can, vegetarian diet, no antibiotics, cage-free. I try to look for all the humane factors when I buy the meat, and honestly, the organic I feel tastes better. Maybe it's a mental thing, I'm not sure, but I try, because I try to steer away from pesticides, or I feel like maybe there's a little bit more, maybe they're a little safer when it's available. So this time I'm going to use, this would be the equivalent to like 93% lean ground turkey, and it's 1 pound. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. And because I'm dealing with raw meat and I actually mix it with my hands, I'm going to go ahead and put gloves. And then I'll take them off after I mix them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in here, and then you'll want to sanitize your surface when you're done. So put the chicken in here. The gloves are off, so I don't have to wash my hands. So this is going to call for 1/3 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Now, if you have bread that's old, you can also use about 4 slices. I would try to find 35 calorie, because if you're putting this into a Weight Watcher app where you're putting the recipe builder, or a chronometer with the recipe builder, wherever you can cut corners for the fat and the calories, it's going to help the whole overall recipe. So I'm using fat-free feta, 1/3 cup of that. Again, this is a Mediterranean, so it's got those oregano. It's going to have lemon zest. So let's go ahead and put the oregano in. Again, I don't always measure when we're going to try to get about we want a good amount of oregano, so about a tablespoon. Also your standard salt and pepper, which should be in most of your recipes. Just regular black pepper, and I use coarse Himalayan salt. That's what I have on hand, because I don't salt things too much. Now, this is going to be spicy, but you can make this as little, with a little amount of spice, or as much spice as you like. I am going to also show you how to make kind of a cool, creamy dill yogurt sauce to put on the pita with this when it's done. So this is why I'm going ahead and spicing it up, because it's going to be cooled off with the other ingredients. So just lemon zest. You could probably put the juice in, but I know the juice sometimes will make a bitterness. So I'm just, the zest kind of, it adds like a hum. So just the zest of 1 lemon. It kind of adds like a freshness, a brightness, and you're like, what is that? I'm not really sure what that is. 2 garlic cloves. Now, if you don't have one of these, it's a good investment. Instead of sitting there chopping, which by the way, I pre-chopped the vegetables. Please leave a comment if you'd like to see me. I'm not an expert at chopping, so to save time, I have them pre-chopped. I'm using 2 cloves of garlic. This is a garlic press. You don't have to peel the garlic, and they sell them on Amazon. If I can find one, I'll link it. I've had this one for years, but you just put the whole clove in, and it's a garlic press. And then you just give it a squeeze. Some of them are easier than others. And it takes the peel. So you don't have to do any of the dirty work. It saves you a little bit of time. So I'm putting the second one in. There you go. And you can, usually these are dishwasher safe. You just have to kind of look at what they say, but it's really convenient. You just either rinse it off or put it in the dishwasher. Now I'm putting a 1/2 cup of egg for the binding. You almost have to have egg because it binds it together, almost like a meatball. And then what I have here, it's summertime. I mean, it's September, but it's still summer. Zucchini is really good right now. So I got a cup of organic zucchini, organic mushrooms, portobellos, you can use any kind you have. A cup of red onion, you can use white, and then a cup of cherry tomatoes. Now, one thing about the garlic, if you don't have a garlic press, you could just get a garlic clove, chop it up real fine, mince it up. But you also could buy this. I found this, and they have garlic and they have ginger where it's already minced. So it makes it really convenient. So if you don't know about it, most people do, but I thought I would just let you know that that is also an option with garlic and ginger. It makes your life easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another glove on, another pair. Because now I'm just gonna mix this by hand. And what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, when you're putting this into the app, it makes a big difference how many burgers you're making. So if I wanted to make this like a big meal and, you know, make it like a really hearty meal, I could just make 4 because it's 1/4 of a pound. But this is why I add all these vegetables. It helps you bulk up. You can use less meat. And it adds so much vitamins and nutrients, but yet it also bulks it up. So I'm gonna see how many patties. I'm thinking that I can probably get about 6 patties out of this, but we'll see. You just have to smush it with your hands. And then I've preheated the oven for 375. So you want to either have a baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper that's oven safe, or you want to use that Pam or olive oil, any kind of spray. So you want to just get this really mixed up well. So I think there's a lot here. I might be able to get 6, I'm not sure about 8, but let me bring the, you're just going to all you're going to do is, I have a parchment paper here. You're just going to try to make them all even. That's the key here. Make the patties even. And you just grab a chunk of it, provided that it's mixed okay. That was the key to get it all mixed up. Really, you're just making them into balls. Try to make them even, and you can steal some from one if you see that you're getting close to having another one, or you feel like one has too much and the other one doesn't have enough. Like this one might have a little too much, so you just pinch some off the top. And you want to get like a decent handful, and you just try to separate it. It's not like a cookie. They don't expand, but you want to give them room because some of the fat, it does have fat in it. So some of the fat is going to render off. And it looks gross, but you throw it away. You don't even remember that the fat was there. But don't be surprised if you don't see a little bit of fat underneath the burger. It cooks out of it. That's the good thing. And I try to get an even amount because it just makes it so much easier when I put it in the app. And it looks like I'm gonna get 7. So I'll have to see if I need to rob Peter for Paul, so to speak. Let's see. No, looks like it's gonna be 7. It's just the luck of the draw because you're incorporating all these vegetables. So it just depends on how bulky the vegetables are. I have 7. You might be able to get 8 if you really try. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven. I'm gonna check it in about 10 or 15 minutes. You want it to just brown, and then you're going to halfway through flip them. And then at that point, when you flip them, you kind of push them down a little to make them more like burgers. So let's check it in 10 or 15. You just want to, it's gonna set. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do 15. And then I'll cook it maybe for another 10 or 15. But we'll see again how thick you have them. The thicker they are, the longer they might have to cook. So it's just keep your eye on them, flip them in 15. Okay, so I just took the turkey burgers out of the oven. I cooked them for 15 minutes, and then I flipped them and kind of smashed them down a little to make them flatter. And then they need to cook for about another 20, 25 minutes. But here is what they turned out like. I'm not sure if you can. So we're gonna finish this off. I take Joseph's pitas because they're only 60 calories for the whole pita, and they're pretty decent size. Cut them in half, and you don't have to do this, but I actually put them in the toaster. I'll slice them in half. They don't look real pretty, but they sure turn out pretty tasty. So let's make the yogurt sauce. Now I've taken about a cup of non-fat yogurt. I really like the Chobani Greek. You want to use a Greek non-fat because it's a little thicker, because it's going to be more of a dip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some mint, just a little bit because it's pretty strong. And I'm going to take some dill, just dried dill, about half a teaspoon. Whole teaspoon would actually probably be better. I like spices. And then I'm taking about half a cup of finely chopped cucumbers. That's how easy this dip is, and then you just mix it up. You can use this dip for a lot of different things, especially in the summer or when it's warmer outside. The contrast from the spice in the chicken burger, it's a very nice contrast to have. And here's what this looks like. Turns into like a really nice creamy, and the longer it sits in the fridge, this would last probably about a week in the fridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the turkey burger in half. And it's a nice juicy bit. And I'm going to put it, stuff it in the toasted half pita shell. This makes a really nice meal. And then I'm going to squeeze it with a little lemon. So you're not wasting the lemon that you use just the zest for. Make sure you don't get any seeds. And I also reserved just a touch of feta. So I'm going to put just a little bit of feta on the burger. And then I'm going to put some of this luscious, cool dill sauce. And then you can serve it with a side of pickle, if you, or sorry, cucumber if you want. You could serve it with pickle too. But make a nice little anytime lunch or dinner. Then you can freeze those turkey burgers, and you could actually put them on a bun with some cheese, condiments, and you could actually turn that into a really unique hamburger and serve it with potato or salad. So that is all I have for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Please subscribe, leave comments, let me know if you're trying any of these recipes.